piece that says, for his outstanding contribution and dedication to the education of Massachusetts orthodontists and his stewardship of the highest standards of orthodontic care, the Massachusetts Association of Orthodontists hereby bestows the 2014 Dr. Frederick Moynahan Service Award on Mel Brockman, Boston University, January 3rd.
John Pavlo, Dr. Rusi Uwala, members of the Massachusetts Association of Orthodontists, distinguished guests, orthodontic residents, my sons Robin, Reed, wife Larissa, who is my daughter-in-law, and friends. I'm very pleased, but very, very humble receiving this wonderful award. As Lucy said, I first met Fred at Tufts when I first started the orthodontic program, and no one can be more enthusiastic or energetic than Fred. I also remember how hard Fred worked to make this organization a success, and how much Dr. Margolis relied on Fred's help and advice when orthodontics was first integrated into the current Mass Health program. He was an outstanding role model for his family and his colleagues, and I'm so happy we are honoring his memory at this time. I was born and raised in Chelsea, just over the Mystic River Bridge, a city that has orthodontic relevance because Jess Kane, Marcy Korn, and Norm Diamond all grew up there. I graduated from Chelsea High in 1946, right after they stopped printing Roman numeral number plates. And it was the year after World War II ended. Because of a high school teacher who had gone to the University of Iowa many years before and liked it, he just convinced me to apply and go, and I became an Iowa Hawkeye in the land of corn. 4 years later, I graduated as a pre-dental student with a BA in general science, along with a reserve commission as a second lieutenant in the Air Force, having gone through the ROTC program. That same year, North Korea decided to invade South Korea. The Korean War broke out. I was activated, went on active duty, and released from active duty in February 1955. And at that time, I was 25 and a half years old and thought the dental school boat had pulled out of the port. I submitted my application to Tufts that summer and was called in for an interview the first week in November. I remember it was a 9 o'clock in the morning interview. Afterwards, the committee said, could I come back at noontime? And I remember coming back, and they handed me an unsealed envelope with the acceptance for the class beginning the following year, just about on my 27th birthday. What a wonderful present. Dental school went fine, and I was helped along by a very interesting incident. It was second semester of my freshman year, and I was sitting at my desk in the histology class. And there were hardly any students in the class. Appearing behind me was the professor emeritus of histology. She was a diminutive person. Her name was Anna Quincy Churchill. I don't know if anybody remembers her. And she comes up to me carrying a wooden box and says, "What I'm carrying in this box is an award for the student that got the highest grade in first semester histology. But unfortunately, it wasn't you." However, the person that won it isn't here. And I know he skipped his class in order to study for the next day's gross anatomy exam. So I'm going to give this particular award to you. It was a microscope. And little does she know how vital that was. I could stop lugging the school microscope back and forth to my house, and I could just leave it there, and for the following year, for oral pathology, general pathology, I could use it. And that act probably delayed my hernia operation for at least 10 years. In 1960, I received my MD and started my general practice with one son and 2 patients. The following year, Dr. Barr of oral radiology called, and I taught in radiology. And that turned out to be a very favorable move, because Norm Diamond would come every day. He was in the middle of the orthodontic course, and he would say he's found a great new world. He loved everything about it, and he insisted that I apply. And he was a very insistent guy. I did apply. At that time, I had a wife, 2 children, and just barely crawling out of death. But my wife was very encouraging, and I went ahead and applied, was accepted, and the graduating class of that year would have been 1966, just in time to celebrate my 37th birthday. I was closer to Medicare than I was to birth. But anyway, I did start, and Norm Diamond was right. It was a great new world. Dr. Shapiro was the kindest man imaginable, with a great sense of humor. And Dr. Gowala, needless to say, as they say in today's lingo, awesome. I couldn't complain about having a wife and 2 kids, because 2 of my orthodontic classmates far exceeded me. Loring Johnson was in my class and had 6 children. And Art Babineau, who practices in Nashua, and whom Hugh Phyllis went in and associated with later, had 7 children. So it was a busy class. And needless to say, I loved the course. By the time I started my orthodontic practice, I had 3 children and 1 patient. However, it got better as time progressed. About a year later, I joined the staff of the school. Needless to say how much I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the consultations, the chairside treatment planning. I enjoyed the seminar. And talking, but it's interesting talking to the people here. I would show somebody a certain loop, like Elon Joffrey, and he still remembered it. And I'm talking to Jamie Kane, and he remembered he was having trouble removing a bracket, and I would say, gee, I did something that I would bring that would no, he wanted a painless solution, and I am a gadgeteer. I have a room that I could create a museum for gadgets. And this was a debracketer that was originally made by Northwest Orthodontics, but not then Unitech. That just did the trick. And I just loved everything about it. I attended the Tufts the training course that Tweed gave in Arizona when Tweed was still alive, and that was 1969. And Tweed was everything they said he was supposed to be. He was vibrant, a terrific teacher. So when Rusi gave his Tweed course at Tufts, the annual course that was a week long, and also the 018 course, I just loved coming in and helping. I also had the assignment of being the model trimming teacher, and that I enjoyed. I would disassemble the parts of my model trimmer from my office and bring them in to the sort of lab, not the trim room, because it was a little more comfortable. If I ever tried to disassemble the spool trimmers, they would never be put together ever. But and I just enjoyed doing that, and I still think that correctly trimmed orthodontic models are the superior teaching tool and diagnostic tool, even though your digital impressions are available. I practiced and lived in the same town my whole career, and all my sons worked at the office. I like that. You know, some people like to practice at one time, not see anybody. I like seeing my son's friends, like my oldest son Rob had a good friend Matty. He was my buddy too. With Reed's friends, I enjoyed them. I didn't like, they felt so at home in the office. I didn't like when they changed the music that I was playing to their taste. They would go right, change it, you know, to them. But I just enjoyed everything about it. The only trouble was with my youngest son when he worked in the office. He almost killed my retirement plan. Every day of his working career, he ordered a large roast beef sub with everything. And let me tell you, over the years, that gets very, very costly. Another nice thing about having an office in the same town you live in is if it really got hectic at home, the kids could use the office as a place to study, and it just worked out very well. I decided to retire from practice and teaching in December 2007. My wife, of 47 years, had passed away 2.5 years before. Actually, I was doing all my own cooking at home, my own household management, and the sad thing was I was starting to look like my driver's license. That's the worst. So now, people ask me, what do I do with all my spare time now that I'm not teaching and I am, not practicing? And just what am I doing? I said, well, I watch the Patriots, obviously, and I torture myself watching the Celtics on television. But I seem to spend most of my time looking for things I can't find that I just had in my possession just 1 minute ago. In closing, I just want to give a special thanks to Don Seamy, who practiced in the next town. His kindness and generosity to me when I was phasing out my practice will be ever appreciated. So thank you, Don. And again, to the Massachusetts Association of Orthodontists, for this honor you have given to me and my family today. Thank you very much. Thank you.